It's always going to be a sore spot for us because that was our sister.
We have worked very hard. We have been in this business for 5 years. And we are broke as broke can be.
Well, you know, contracts and stuff is kind of hard to handle business when you're stuck in contracts.
In the 90s, when women were suppressed to quit their career dreams and social media was in its initial phase, three girls decided to join hands and form one of the most renowned girl bands, TLC.
We are the biggest selling female group ever.
But it didn't end there. While the group which rose to glory quickly has now faded as a trio because of one member's tragic death, the singers are remembered for how they took a stand against their alleged oppressors, Clive Davis and Diddy. Apparently, many people believe this might have cost them their careers. We will tell you all the tasty details about the formation of the group, their tragic times, and their fight to protect their name and fame. This is going to be a roller coaster ride, so make sure you're tucked into your seats. The rap industry has fierce competition among it. However, when there is talent, there is always a way. Tion, T-Boz, Watkins, Lisa Left Eye, Lopes, and Rosanda Chili Thomas had in them what the field demanded. In 1990, in Atlanta, Georgia, the girls shook hands with each other and stepped up with their terrific content. The band was rocking. Their songs topped the charts. Releases like Creeps and Waterfalls were keeping their magic alive. However, their walk to glory wasn't exactly a path of roses. It had many thorns in its way. For instance, Lisa Lopes' father was not supportive of her ambition for music. He, reportedly, used to exert physical pressure on her as well. However, Lisa wanted to grow out of that pit, and she found her solace in music. Along with her siblings, Lopes made a band and named it the Lopes Kids. It's quite appreciable how her family was so unsupportive of her, yet she proudly named her group after them. The young prodigy found her breakthrough when Tion and Rosanda found her and took her into their band. The girls were so soaked up in their new fame that they couldn't see what was coming their way. The industry is a ruthless place, and the young girls had no one to guide them. The bombshell dropped on the group when they realized about their loads of debts. You heard that correctly? The 4 Grammy Awards, 5 MTV Music Awards, and 5 times Soul Train Music Awards winners had gone bankrupt. How could this happen? What led to such a situation? Hold your horses. Let's start from the very beginning. The group's album Crazy School was a major success. It sold millions of copies globally, bagging around $175 million. When the world thought TLC was bathing in glory, they revealed at the 1996 Grammys that they were drowning in debt.
I can say this, everything's not going the way we so-called quote-unquote would want it to be or how it should be.
The next thing is going to blow your mind. It was disclosed that the people around the group, whom they have made contracts with, were taking unfair advantage of them. This included their manager Pebbles and the record labels they were working with. There was an accountancy game in play where every expense was billed to the group's name. The music, the stays, the clothing, even the food. One of their record labels was LaFace Records, which was founded by Clive Davis. It became a home to many artists, including TLC, Usher, Tony Braxton, and Outkast. Davis was also working alongside Puff, co-founding the Bad Boy Records. Were Clive and Diddy working against TLC's interests? Being the trio's managers, they surely did seem involved following the band's Grammy revelation. Things worsened for the group when Lisa fell in love with football player Andre Risson. The relationship wasn't the problem. Its tragic outcome was. The love bond was never smooth. It is evident by the fact that Lisa burnt the Atlanta Falcons star's mansion. Lisa burnt the athlete's sneakers in the bathtub, and the raging fire spread violently, taking down the entire house with it. The singer had to undertake 5 years of probation, pay $10,000 as a fine, and $75,000 for her bail. My parents' relationship was violent, Raindrop explained. Me and my brother, we did not get into abusive relationships, but Lisa did. These aren't the only troubles the group had. They had conspiracies emerging from within themselves. Lisa wanted to leave. She was done performing with the group and was known with the tagline of TLC. She wanted to outgrow the rest of the group members and make her own name. Things didn't go smoothly for Lisa as she got into an accident. The minibus in which the singer was in crashed into a young boy, Bayron, who lost his life. Lisa was shaken by this, and the fact she had the same last name as the boy made her feel for him at a personal and emotional level. The incident was not reported by anyone to the authorities. Instead, Bayron's family was impressed with Lisa's acts. As his grandmother stated, "At the time, we weren't worried about who she was. We just knew she picked up my grandson and rushed him to the best hospital in the area." The accident proved to be another turning point in the singer's life, as she started to behave awkwardly after it. She even reportedly claimed to have been followed by a spirit. Per Dazed. In the final weeks of her life, she describes feeling like she's being followed by a spirit. Now comes the haunting turn in the story. Everyone was struck with shock, as a few weeks later from the accident, Lisa had the most devastating day of her life. The events didn't turn out well for the superstar, as Lopes got into a horrific car crash in 2002. Things went south in Honduras, as Lisa's car went off-road and flipped multiple times. The singer received fatal injuries as her soul departed her body. Did Lisa predict her own death? Can it actually happen? The fans, the artists, everyone was in utter confusion. The people who loved the artist couldn't believe their ears. Lopes talked about a spirit following her. Was she actually haunted by it? Or the accident was caused due to her mental illness from the shocks received after the little boy's death? In a recent interview, Chili finally opened up on the tragic death of her bandmate. "I remember I didn't listen to the radio for a long time because I didn't want to hear reports about her," the 52-year-old singer exclusively told Us. The singer painted the picture of how she was in a state of denial, and it felt unreal to her. "We didn't want people coming up saying, 'Oh, I'm so sorry,'" the singer explained. "And I know that they meant well, but when you're in pain, you just don't want to hear any of that. It took me a long time to refer to her in the past tense because I couldn't believe it. And I think it has so much to do with when you're young like that, you think you're invincible."
You know, I couldn't speak about her like in past tense. I couldn't do it.
The group shared a strong and connected bond. They were friends of each other in their personal lives, and Chili was thankful for that. "I was talking to her when she was over there in Honduras, and I was like, 'When are you coming back?' I said, 'When you get in town, just come over,' 'cause I wanted that bonding time with her," she recalled. "And we were so excited and looking forward to that, and even though it crushed me too that didn't happen, I was still happy that we had plans to get together and we were just on a good note. She knew that I loved her. I mean, she always knew. But when something tragic like that happens and you haven't said 'I love you' to that person, it can haunt you in a different way." Lisa's death, coupled with the financial problems and poor management of the group, TLC to struggle badly, and T-Boz could not hold back her emotions. She wanted to speak on the real reasons for the difficulties faced by the trio, now a duo, who were bankrupt despite selling tons of albums. In her interview with Monique, T-Boz detailed an incident where they had to strong-arm their label executive, Clive Davis, to get the cash that belonged to them. TLC had generated, on Crazy S Cool, $75 million, and they gave us $50,000 apiece, she explained during the TV appearance. "I was like, what the hell?" So, of course, Elisa, left A. Lopes, was the ringleader. Like, "We need to go get our money. I need to know where my money is at." So she was locked up in the diversion center for burning down the house of ex-boyfriend Andre Risson. Wait a minute. Was involving Lopes in the lawsuit part of a controversy? Was it all done for the executives to eat the singer's actual shares? This revelation changed the way the fans were looking at the scene. Lopes was investigating this matter, but she couldn't after getting into the car accident. The fans suspected something fishy going around. Could it be a M, they asked? Was the previous accident a failed attempt on the artist? T-Boz also described how Puffy's interference in the band matters triggered and irritated them. "We had the limo driver, he was the getaway car," T-Boz continued. "So we went up there, and Puffy was the one that snitched us out because we kicked him out of the meeting. It was rude. We interrupted Puffy's meeting. We were getting sick and sweating, and we were really working hard for the money, and we wanted to know who the hell had our check." LaFace Records head, L.A. Reed said, then Arista chief. "Clive had it, so that's where we went." Lisa was already in arguments with the group to part ways, and she did it soon by signing a contract with Suge Knight's Death Row in January 2022. Lopes was reportedly intimate with the producer. In the documentary series titled Hopelessly in Love, details are disclosed about a love relationship between Suge and Left Eye. Knight said, "I had major love for her. I cared for her, but I knew her fiancé, Andre Risson. We were cool. but I cared about Lisa. She went to one of my high rises one time. She gave me a hug, and I sat back down in my chair and fired up. The doorbell rings, so I get up and open up the door, and they got the carts. It's all her clothes and suitcases, and she never went home. She showed up and never rolled out, Suge claims. We started hanging, and she's a great person. Suge Knight was a rival to Clive and Puffy at the time. The music producers were in strong competition. Lisa Lopes was a skillful prodigy. Her leaving the group caused the producers to lose a unique talent, and also the group, which was basking in glory, was now reduced to becoming a duo. The fans thought Puffy and Clive's might have found Lopez's step triggering and insulting. They might have wanted to be the winners at any cost, even if they had to take the artist's life. When the viewers connected these dots, this strengthened their belief in the already circulating rumor that Diddy and Davis were involved in Lisa's possible M. Lisa and Tupac also shared a strong bond for some time. They were reported to be soulmates. However, their love was never fully realized. It's an interesting observation that when Tupac was M'd, he also seemed to know about it during his lifetime, as the lyrics of his songs before his death revealed. This becomes even more enticing as Diddy was also believed by the viewers to be involved in Tupac's death, as they both were considered a strong competition for each other. Can Diddy actually be involved in what the viewers have alleged him for? Does his past evidence such traits in him? Stay connected to understand the history of the uncrowned king of the rapping industry. Diddy has been involved in countless lawsuits throughout the decades of his career. The artist has one of the most long-lasting professional runs. His biggest competitors, Tupac and Biggie, were unalived in the 90s, both in shootings, and this made Puff's path clearer and smoother. The controversy theories initiated from then, as we already know Diddy was considered a prime victim. The rapper is undoubtedly a talented person. He sought ways to convert his rap success into a billion-dollar fortune. That's why the billionaires in the business world have used terms like genius and inspiration for the mogul. Diddy has always wanted to be successful. He wanted money. He told Forbes in 1991, "I wanted to be very, very rich." In 2003, Diddy made a bold move that made the world admire him even more. He contacted the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, Mark Cuban, through an email. "We were an up-and-coming team at a time when pro sports teams didn't do anything with entertainment industry people," Cuban said. "We never even met. We never did any follow-up or anything beyond that." The most recent lawsuit against Diddy was filed by Rodney Lil Rod Jones, and it has been the most prominent case against the rapper as it has affected him greatly. The producer named Diddy and his son Justin to be involved in the M of a man called G. Accusations made by Lil Rod against the rapper include inappropriate physical behavior, unethical conduct, trading of humans, and exploitation of minor girls by hiring them and then taking their advantage after intoxicating them. Diddy has denied all the allegations made against him. His reckless name-dropping about events that are pure fiction and simply did not happen is nothing more than a transparent attempt to garner headlines. We have overwhelming, indisputable proof that his claims are complete lies, Diddy's attorney, Sean Hawley, stated. Everyone thought Diddy would come out of this lawsuit clean like he always does. However, the fans were taken by surprise when Diddy's residencies in Los Angeles and Miami were raided by the police authorities. Raids aren't made without concrete evidence or a strong reason. Is Diddy in real danger this time? The list of Diddy's lawsuits keeps on going. The complaint described Combs as a vicious, cruel, and controlling man who asserted complete control over Ms. Ventura's personal and professional life. After years in silence and darkness, I am finally ready to tell my story and to speak up on behalf of myself and for the benefit of other women who face violence and in their relationships, Ventura had said in a statement to CBS News Thursday. With the expiration of New York's Adult Survivors Act fast approaching, it became clear that this was an opportunity to speak up about the trauma I have experienced and that I will be recovering from for the rest of my life. Another woman named Joey Dickerson Neal stepped forward and alleged Puff and then taking physical advantage of her when she was in her college back in 1991. Jane Doe, another woman, gave similar statements about the record producer. Diddy was also removed as the chairman of Revolt. In a statement, the network wrote, "Sean Combs has stepped down from his position as chairman of Revolt." While Mr. Combs has previously had no operational or day-to-day role in the business, this decision helps to ensure that Revolt remains steadfastly focused on our mission to create meaningful content for the culture and amplify the voices of all Black people throughout this country and the African diaspora. Puff has never accepted any claims made against him. He has fought every one of them and came out victorious. However, repeating the sickly over decades can frustrate Aniani, and so was the case with the No Way Out artist. She and Combs talked about how the new artists have used his name to grab opportunities for themselves by getting into the public eye. Enough is enough. For the last couple of weeks, I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy, he wrote in the statement, which was obtained by People. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Diddy is believed by the viewers to have gained an advantage from Lisa's death. From the little background run we made on him, multiple hints direct the fans to believe Puff is actually capable of doing something like that. Also, Diddy made big investments around the time of the death of Lisa. The fans believe Puff used the money he allegedly stole from the girl band. The trio soaking in debt is a strong reason for it. Observing his business mind and his big investments with powerful people, he surely made strong connections with big people, and he knew how to come out as a winner in any situation. The recent advances in Puff's lawsuits, such as the raid on his house, are pointing towards a possible end to the long-lasting career of the mogul. Despite TLC having differences, the group chose to continue as a duo and not replace Lisa Lopes. They shared a strong relationship. You can't replace a TLC girl, Thomas said in 2002. The chemistry we have is something God gave us. You can't put that together. And in 2013, Watkins told Rolling Stone, "I'm never going to put another girl in my group. Never. This was all for today." Make sure you inform us in the comments section about your views on the TLC girl band and the reported injustices practiced on them by executives such as Diddy and Clive Davis. Thanks for watching.